What's up? Om nom 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 nom. Okay. Alex, also here. What's up, man? Yo, everyone, make sure to check out Alex. Alex O Crypto. Recently, I was hanging out on his channel, trying to catch some lives whenever I can. So make sure to check out. Can I do this? Go check out channel activity. Go to channel. Oh, it's opening in my other tab here. So he's not focused on Elliott waves per se. You might hear it in some time, like his analysis. But he's uploading lots of stuff about lots of different sorts of analysis, combining many different tools into his own strategy. He's a full-time trader. He's gonna marry. He's gonna have a kid. He better does well because he's gotta take care of his little family coming up. Yo, Alex, good to have you here. And the otter logo is that is his it's the otters. That's his thing. What's up, everyone? Saragapoth Gaming. Yeah, you were very, very quick. Jeroen, good to have you here. Mark, what's up? Bullish, bearish, or neutral? It's all in the chart. I'm personally never bearish, bullish, or neutral, but on a higher time frame, the probabilities are there to still look for one more low. But let's observe what happens locally as well. We're gonna zoom out in the stream though. Kiwi, how are you doing? On the 18th, buy business move or product with any form of leverage. What out of the other 3 exchanges that are in Discord would you recommend? Depends if you want KYC or not. So personally, I really enjoy BingX, which is the platform where I have traded for a very long time now. The issue is, because I moved to France, I can continue using BingX. If I would have stayed in the Netherlands, I wouldn't be able to use BingX without a VPN, but I can because I moved to France and I have a French passport as well. Now, I don't mind the KYC situation, so I just love the platform, great liquidity, it has everything I need. However, for countries, for either people that don't like KYC or for countries where BingX or Bybit is not an option, BTCC and Blowfin are the two that are great platforms, great contact with those platforms as well. They have people in Discord, so if you have any questions, Kiwi, about BTCC or about Blowfin, just at and then BTCC or at Blowfin in Discord, and you'll find the guy in Discord that is responsible. Like he's the one that will answer your questions. But yeah, it would be those two probably, unless BingX works for you. That's my preferred platform, so it's the one I recommended to begin with. Kamo, welcome. Anil wrote a comment, I believe, this morning. Weekly close below, what was it, 60k you said? Making you more bearish, if I remember correctly. Dave, Alex, what's up? Jeremy, welcome. Welcome. Maybe a band-aid. No, maybe a band-aid. Are you here? Not yet. No worries. Bettina, welcome. Emre, online again after finishing his exams and passing them as well. Ali, welcome. Good to have you here. August 4th, marriage. Baby, September 7th. This guy. 2024 is the year that his life is gonna be flipped upside down. Now, besides the channel, that is of course growing, doing very well in business as well as in trading, his life is gonna make a hectic 180 degrees there. Good luck, man. Good luck. Enjoy the wedding day. It's coming soon. We're not too far away now. 1 more month, and enjoy the kid. All right. Anyone? Mark, you want to do the honors? Thank you. Comment ça va, Daniel? Alex, do you actually speak French? I mean, you're living in Canada and you do have the French side of Canada, no? Cheers, Kiwi. Samith, welcome. Florian, good to have you here. Houghton Totten. So Samith is the guy that shared some of the counts. I recently showed in some of the content as well. All I care about leverage more. Yeah, I agree. I mean, leverage for me is a must in trading. Also, if I just want to, if I want to risk 1% and my stop is less than 1% on the chart, I want to use leverage. So, yeah. How's your marriage going? Nothing changed. The only change is a ring around my finger. But I mean, we already lived together for years before we got married, and life before and after marriage is exactly the same for us. It's like no different. We're married on paper. We have a ring around our finger, and we are a family, which is of course fun to say. Freddie, welcome. Good to have you here as well. Now, everyone, we're going to cover some higher time frame analysis as well in this live stream. I have about 37 minutes left, because I do have a meeting that I have to go to later today. I have a meeting with my business coach in Amsterdam, so I'll have to go there, and the meeting is at 4 p.m. And travel is a bit more than an hour. So let's get started, shall we? And at least get the analysis done. Took a lot of French in school. I mean, look, I have a French mom, but we never spoke French at home, mainly not because of my mom, but because of a teacher that said Dutch is already difficult enough. But I was really good in French at school, better than English, by the way. My results for French were better than my results for English. But because I used English every day since I was 14 years old, I naturally... I got the hang of English, and I forgot about French. Even though at high school, French was my best result outside sports. Sports was my very best, and then French was the best topic. So, yeah, I mean, you probably, Alex, can speak better French than I can, but just give me a few months. I'll get there, When I move later this month, I'll be able to speak French to you as well. Does being X a future option? Yes. Yes, Kiwi. Freddie, thank you. Cheers. Yeah, I got married on the 9th of March. So Alex and I are being married, getting married in the same year. So, and you'll probably notice, Alex, of course, I don't know your personal situation, but if you live together, there's not of course in some families, or traditionally they sometimes say, okay, you're separated before marriage and after marriage live together, and all that stuff, like the classic scenario, which wasn't the case with us. But I can imagine life before, after, and after marriage it's going to be significantly different if you do follow the traditional way of getting married, I suppose, in a way. Yeah, I won't be surprised if nothing changes, really. You're going to hate English in 2 days, then maybe even hate... Yeah. I mean, look, if the Netherlands and France play each other in the final, then what the fuck do I do, right? I'm Dutch and I'm French. I'm 50-50. I grew up in the Netherlands, but I got passports, both sides. I need a 50-50 shirt. I need a Dutch one and I need a French one. Like, what do I do? I got this. This is my favorite, what do you call it, jersey? It says Netherlands as well. You probably have seen me wear this on stream sometime. I want the same, but in like a French one. And actually, I need one that's Dutch and French, so I can represent my nationalities. Has to be said, my mom is very proud that one of her kids is moving to her home country. She loves it. Also that one. Adam, welcome. What's up, Rudy? Good to have you here. Are you at work? Hopefully later you can do some trading. Have a great day. In Belgium, we have 3 languages. So in school, one gets 3. Yeah. Vlaams, Dutch, and French, and maybe even English, if Vlaams is more like an accent to you guys. J'espère tu oui baguette. I will speak and try to speak as much French as I can. 4 years traveled the world, nothing is changing. Yeah, and that's like, You'll have an amazing day. All of your friends are family are there, and that's what makes the day so beautiful. It's the fact that you're all together. Of course, you will see her in a white dress and all the good stuff. Not to forget about the wedding night, but it is a very special day, mainly also because of all the family and friends being there from both sides. You'll never forget it. Like and please, Alex, what I can really recommend if you haven't is get a videographer. Get a videographer. So Ashley and I got pictures, but we also got a video. And the video, that is the one that hits you. Like that's the one that covers the day the best. Of course, some pictures you'll frame them and you'll keep them, but the video is the one that for us hits us the most. I can really recommend. Yeah, getting both. Okay, cool. Yeah, don't miss out. Yeah, that's really good. That's good. Get both. We had the pictures as well and the video. We first got the pics, then we got the video. It's amazing. It's great to have the video. Family Italian and British, and you live in Canada. What happened? Did they move to Canada? Play stopless at the semifinals for one of the teams. Place. I mean, if they get to the semifinals, if they get to the finals, they better just win it. Left and right, yeah, probably make someone edit it. The M pattern in the weekly chart. That is correct. I mean, arguably your M already closed or played out in a way because you now took the low here, right? Andy, welcome. Hamid Reza. Okay, are you related to Wendy O Crypto? And the betting ceremony. Exactly. Make sure to take care there as well. Cheers, Florian. Yeah, it's a busy month. Today I've been sorting out my closet. Holy shit, I had so much shit in there. This shirt, the shirt I'm wearing now, I didn't even know I had it. It's a great shirt, nice length, fits my body really well. I didn't even know, but that's what happens when you get rid of almost all of your stuff. You watch the elections? Not at all. I have no idea. I'm never interested in politics in any country, really. Okay. Cheers, Alex. Alex, first of all, I actually when I don't know if you ever come to Europe, but if you do, it would be great to meet you. If I ever come to Canada, I'll let you know for sure. And we can do like a duo stream again soon. I'll have to, probably when I'm in France, I'll have to figure out how it again works a bit with OBS. We know the basics now because of our previous experience, but could join after long. Hope you're good. Yotti, welcome. Good to have you here. Sometimes, like Yotti, people come in, haven't been here for months, and then ta-da, back again. Alex, by the way, also shares a lot of shorts where he asks his, you call it Nana, I think? Nana? About his Bitcoin going up or down, like grandpa. 25 minutes, yeah, I know, Mark. No. Oh, no. Yeah, okay, no. Yeah, exactly. 3 Dutch, French, German, I see. Once Canada beats Argentina, makes me cry. Makes Messi cry, probably. I mean, Ronaldo is out already. Yeah, we'll see. We're not talking, of course, about Euro. But yeah, in general, it's the big teams, Argentina, Portugal, many European countries in general. Are big in the world of football, and then you have Argentina, Brazil. What do you think? Locally, it can be a bigger. Yes, that's one of the options. We probably have to cover it because else I'm going to be running out of time. Darpon, welcome. Yo, Adam, you might want to, have a different approach, I suppose. The Copa, yeah. Yeah, European football, of course, is usually put on a high pedestal, but I always like it when other countries, Argentina, Brazil, other teams do well. I also like the underdog stories. Of course, Argentina is not an underdog, neither is Brazil. But if you do have an underdog team against a bigger team, I love the underdog stories. So okay, guys, time to start. Right, time to start. What's happening locally? So we have a bit of bearish CVDs, by the way. Lower high in price, higher high on yellow. Some red candles here. Some more bearish CVD. So we're going to keep an eye on this. If price is going to move too low towards the 56K area, we're going to be looking for downside again. So that makes it a very volatile day, which is interesting. But let's get this started, shall we? I'm going to remove this. Okay. So we're going to start on the weekly. I'll be short and sweet because we pretty much have 25 minutes left. Okay. But at least you'll get the full story. No? So yeah. Weekly time frame. Same old, same old. We keep an eye on this scenario, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As long as something is not invalidated, it's not invalidated. We do have another bullish scenario I'll show you in a second. But 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5-wave structure. We're inside wave 3. We're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Currently at the maximum target for 4, which is the 0.5. Invalidation is 49.3K. And here, of course, we want to see an impulse to the upside on the lower time frames, right? That's where it starts. Now, your other bullish scenario is that wave 3 is already finished. And the more time we spend here, the higher the probabilities become for this scenario. Right now, this is still a bullish scenario. It's just a more bearish bullish scenario, if you know what I mean. Because here we have a finished 3, we look for 4 and one more push up in 5. While in the other scenario, you have 2 more pushes to the upside. Now, in both cases, you are looking for price to move to the upside, right? So you're looking for price to make a new all-time high, moving closer towards the 6 digits. No? But what happens after you take this high, we got to wait and see. We got to be very patient and observe the next range. And that is how to approach Elliott waves when you go into price discovery, is whenever price moves to the upside, you got to wait for the next range. The next range will give you all the information you need. Yes, sometimes you will have to cope with a drop of 20%, 30%, 40%, which is absolutely normal, of course, during a bull market. That's no problem. But the range, the next range, will give you all the information you need. Selling at the absolute top when you have bought lower is a little bit of a, it's not a gamble, because actually we had an ending diagonal shape here, so I mean it was a good choice. But the I suppose safest way to sell was here. Right, during the 65K all-time high, we moved down, changed the structure, and the move towards the upside was corrective. Right, on the lower time frames, this was a corrective structure, not an impulsive structure, increasing probabilities to take the low. So that was an interesting area to then eventually sell. No, same is true here. We just want to wait for lower time frame ranges to form, not necessarily weekly time frame ranges, because over here, of course, the drop was significant and we only started ranging here. But on the lower time frames, 1 hour, 4 hour, we will be able to identify the probabilities locally once we go into price discovery. But don't sleep on this scenario here. Common target for 4 is the yellow box. Invalidation is a lot lower, 37.7K. Now we do have the weekly gap. We're currently in the weekly gap. Price closed a candle now, weekly candle in the gap as well. The first time this has happened in a very long period of time, as you can see, increasing the probabilities to fill the gap, and the low of the gap is a 53K. An important support resistance area in general is the 48.5 to 50.5K area, including this order block. So arguably you can say 53K to 49K is a very big zone on the chart, also because of what you see here. Big support resistance area, but mainly the value area high of a volume profile you can take of this range. And these volume levels have been nicely respected. Resistance, resistance, support, breakout, potential retest, continuation. Also, it is an important level on the chart on a weekly time frame. We also now closed a second candle inside this channel, taken from the low to the high. In a second, I continue with Elliott waves again on the lower time frames. But while we're on the weekly, let me show the other weekly stuff. Now the channel nicely respected, moving on top of the midline, top line, midline, breakout, top, close a candle inside the channel, increasing the probabilities to move to the midline. We're getting close, but no cigar. We're not there yet. Midline currently at 51.6K. Of course, moving to the midline can also mean horizontal movement to the midline. Then it's just a matter of time. But the midline is in that interesting pocket, right? The order block, filling the gap, 49.5K value area high of the big range over here, right? Supports a simple support resistance area here as well. So it is indeed interesting. Now then we go to the lower time frame. And I need to take a look at how I dragged my folders in here, but I'm not sure if they're okay. So these are the wrong way around. There we go. So locally, we are for a while already keeping an eye on this ABC zigzag structure. I think it was the live stream yesterday or 2 days ago where I showed a picture where we started looking for the zigzag when price was moving to the upside and then retracing over here, just because I wasn't happy with the low here. Because the only way to really end the structure here on high probabilities would have been a diagonal, but that's a wave A. That would have been bearish. In other words, that's your zigzag, 535. Or this had a higher probability of being a wave B for then a C. But if this is a corrective low, then the probability is increased to still continue ranging. So yeah, I'm really, really happy to see price move towards that 886 and then started to retrace for new lows. Now the common target area for your wave C is where we are now. We hit the 1-to-1. That's one of the common target areas, all the way down to 50.5K, 1.236. Interesting. And your wave C 1.618 target, that's an extension target, right? 43.9K is very, very deep. Preferably we don't go that deep, but we stick around somewhere in this common target area for your A, B, C. Currently, the highest probability scenario we keep an eye on here locally on the chart, sub-degree count. Now this one has a lower probability. So let me frame this right. An ABC is a 535 wave structure, and there's two ways we can count the wave C to the downside. First of all is what you see here. So we still have A, B ending here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, on most of the charts, this high took the high on the left, as analyzed by GZ in Discord. So he posted this in Discord as well in the Gold Elliott Wave channel that we have, the Gold Group. And yeah, here you can see that most charts took the high. So that would invalidate a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you do count it like this, preferably your low is in. But this is not the highest probability count. And therefore, I'm actually going to drag it to the bottom. So the one we mainly keep an eye on is a diagonal in a wave C here. Okay, so we then have your A, B, and then a C. Here, we do want to see one more low, preferably. So we have our wave 1, our wave 2, our wave 3, wave 4, and then look for a wave 5 to the downside. There's no problem for this wave 4 to move a little bit higher in a 5-3-5 wave structure. In that case, we of course want price to take this high at least one more time to make sure we create a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure locally. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take the high one more time, take this high as well, to then create an ABC zigzag structure in 4, move down in 5. Now, when do the probabilities decrease for this scenario? If price touches the trend line of this channel. Because it is by far most common to see a contracting diagonal, and an expanding diagonal is very rare. The moment we hit the top trend line of this channel, we have to think about expanding diagonals because a contracting one is invalidated. So currently the top of the channel here is at about 60.4K, 60.5K. So this is the area you don't want to hit. and it is taken the channel from the low of 1 to the low of 3 to the high of 2. So you can take a channel, put it on a chart, and keep an eye on it. Now, if this is your low, then preferably we do not count it anymore as an ABC, but a finished WXY. Not the highest probabilities. An ABC, simple structures generally have higher probabilities. But local time frames, this is where probabilities change first and then eventually 1 hour, 4 hour, daily. And at the moment, we did hit the common target area for your wave Y, 57.8, 54.4. And what you're looking at here is a WXY complex structure. Now, as mentioned, most commonly price moves in simple structures, meaning a zigzag, a flat, or a triangle. WXYs are, however, part of Elliott waves and are definitely common structures still to keep in mind. But generally, you like to stick with the simplistic stuff until those get invalidated. But we have a regular flat W, expanding flat X, and then a zigzag in a wave Y. Two things going on here that do lower the probabilities a bit is in wave X, we have an A, B, and then a wave C. Your wave C is over twice the length of A plus B in time, which reduces the probabilities for a wave C. It's not an invalidation, time never is, but it does impact probabilities negatively. And if we then have a wave Y, A, B, C, with a finished C at the low, your wave C found support on the 0.618 trend-based fib extension taken from the start to the end of A to the end of B. And the 0.618 is a rare target for a wave C. The common target is the 1 to the 1.236, which is down here. So it's actually still a little bit lower. Now, if this is your low, we want to see impulsive structures to the upside. So by all means, if we're bullish, we definitely want to take out this high. We definitely want to count an impulse here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we don't want to dip too low. I'll get to the lower time frames in a second. But you want to see the high taken, right? And then also see that high taken as a bare minimum, right? So these are the two that I keep an eye on. We have the zigzag ABC with then a diagonal in your wave is C, or we have the WXY. Depends on the lower time frames if the WXY increases in probabilities because we need impulses. A few scenarios that GZ shared in Discord and I'd like to share with you. The first one is a WXY, and actually it's a WXY where either your C is finished or you move into a diagonal C. In other words, you're going to move down in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure, right? Now, the reason I don't yet like to cover it is because I usually start to cover diagonals once we start forming or finishing wave 4s. So it's a little early, but it's definitely a scenario. This would be a scenario I put on my chart if we take this low once more, right? Because then we cannot finish wave C here, nor can we finish wave Y here, right? So something to keep in mind. Interesting scenario. So thanks for sharing, GZ. So he also WX and then the Y zigzag. His second scenario is the one I explained with a diagonal in the end. It's just that he counts WXY with inside Y a flat, A, B, very long C. And what he writes when it exceeds the 2.618 trend-based fib extension that you see on the chart, the orange line, taken from the start of A, end of B, reduces probabilities, right? So not really something I look for. I do look for the diagonal, but I then label it the ABC. And then he has this, a triangle in wave Y. Very, very early to call, of course, because we would first need to see impulsive structures to the upside, which is, of course, what we keep an eye on. Now, a triangle in Y is going to be something I will only cover if we actually impulse out of here, right, back towards that 70, 69, 68K area, and then start retracing for a C and then move up for D. Once we get towards the D, right, that's when I start to get interested. So you can see there's many different scenarios, but it's all about probabilities. And the probabilities at the moment are highest for the ABC, a diagonal structure that we keep an eye on, or quite simply a WXY that is finished. But the probabilities would be higher for at least one more low at the moment with the information that we have at the moment. So then the diagonal is one to keep an eye out for. With regards to the WXY or any bullish scenario, if we want to be bullish, we have to pass the support resistance area here on the chart. There's only 3 horizontals I have on my chart. 1, 2, 3. Very simple. Elliott waves can be very, very tricky at times, but support resistance area makes things so simple. When do we want to become bullish again? Well, you gotta get back in the range, no? You gotta pass this big support resistance area, and then if we can move up and retest, change the structure here, we're gonna have a deviation just like we had here, right? Moved above, went to the downside, tested this, and off we went to the higher end of the channel. So that is definitely something I keep my eye on. As long as we are below this SR level, as long as we pretty much are below the range, it's difficult to be very bullish, no? Okay, lower time frames. So quite nice this morning. We spoke about probabilities when a price was here. That's when I started streaming, and when I ended the stream, price was over here. That was quite, sorry, the video. So the morning video, the probabilities were higher to move up, and the start of the stream was here, end of the stream was here, and since then we had a solid move to the upside into, by the way, resistance, right? So we had resistance. This is now also support, resistance, resistance, resistance. We did have some fresh resistance, a daily and a daily naked point of control in this area, which is where we rejected at the moment. So, for the ones that are interested, these are all the levels that I have around price at the moment. Right? Now, in some cases, you see a box because those are levels of interest. We found support on the daily naked point of control, moved to the upside, hit the daily naked point of control area, which is where we are right now. Now, with regards to Elliott waves, right? This is a scenario we kept an eye on. Now, here we have an impulse, 1 or A, 2 or B, looking for a C or 3. In that case, you do like to see this high taken, preferably, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, in this case, locally, we want to stay above the 0.618, 56.1K. We don't want to move down to 56.1K, as then the probabilities are significantly higher. This is a 3-wave structure, which is a corrective structure, which will increase the probabilities to continue ranging / take out the lows. Right. So for a wave C or 3, we had a good move to the upside. We hit the resistance area. Of course, that is never mind. I can only say what I do. I took the long. I took TP because it's a resistance area. 0.618. That's your invalidation for an impulse. The highest amount of volume is currently here in this move to the upside. It's literally in the high. So what you're looking for from an Elliott wave point of view is a range in the 4 and then move up once more in a 5, making a new high on lower volume. If we make a new high on higher volume, well, we're going to be looking for potentially higher prices to come and a possible wave 3. So we're going to impulse. Right? Something to keep an eye on, absolutely. So the 0.618 would lower the probabilities for an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's an invalidation for wave 4. An impulse only really is invalidated when you take out this low, because of course there's always the potential for a 1, 2, 1, 2, and a wave 2 can hit the 618. So the moment you change market structure, then it's confirmed, but this is where it starts, 56.1K. Okay, and this one has been explained earlier. Your bearish scenario was a 112, was lower probability as explained in the morning, because wave C hit the 0.618, rare target for a wave is C, and the 618s are invalidations for a wave 4, and you can now also see We took this high here. So as mentioned, the moment we hit the 618 during the video this morning, probabilities increase for price to move up. Then we had the second one soon after, and then we took this high soon after. So this is now invalidated. Well, so we can remove this from the chart now because it's not interesting anymore. So pretty much the only scenario I keep an eye on at the moment is an ABC, counting this as an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if we do dip to the downside and we're going to count it as a 3-waver, that is the moment where we're going to start thinking about potentially diagonals or a WXY scenarios, right? Now, these are not yet relevant. And what I mean, by the way, in a triangle would then be A, B, C, D, E, continuation to the downside, right? Or we are going to look into WXY scenarios, WX, and then eventually a wave Y in possibly a triangle, flat, or a zigzag. But that's something I'll only cover at a later stage because it is not yet relevant. And I might be overloading everyone with a lot of info. That tends to be my weakness. I love to explain too much, but it might be difficult to follow. If we do have a more complex wave 4, meaning if price is not taking the high here and the high here, instead we're going to have a 3-wave structure, we have to be aware that it might not suit the wave 4. Wave 4 in a ending diagonal has to be a zigzag family structure, A, B, C, preferably, or a WXY double zigzag. The moment we go into triangles here or sideways WXYs, this diagonal scenario lowers in probabilities. Cool. Yeah. Am I gonna throw in another piece of information? So I can only imagine if you don't know too much Elliott waves and then you come here. I'm going to talk about probabilities in a second. That's always the summary. Yeah, I'm going to throw this in as well. A, CB, C to the upside. That's of course still a scenario as well, right? So you can have a 5-wave in a wave A. Either B is finished or you're going to create a more complex B and then move up for C and then you go down. But yeah, it depends on the ranges we get. So let me go to the probabilities, no? On a weekly time frame. So this is the summary. This is where life becomes easy again. On a weekly time frame, the probabilities are higher for price to move towards the upside and take out the all-time high at least once more, right? And then we will take it from there. On the daily time frame, as long as you are not moving to the upside and moving above the support resistance area of the range, with a retest, it's very difficult to be bullish. Also from an Elliott wave point of view, we have that diagonal to the downside still, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structures on the cards. We have great support to the downside as well. Didn't yet fill the weekly gap, just missed out on hitting the midline of the channel. We have the value area high here as well. So there's some great support, which might at the same time be obvious. So maybe price doesn't get there, but yeah, it's difficult to be bullish on a daily time frame. So arguably having one more low has a higher probability. Of course, that the moment you change and you move above 63.8K, that's invalidated. Right? So that's your real invalidation. But the probabilities would be higher for another low on the chart. Yeah, I like to say the following, and this is something I mentioned to Diamond as well as the setups channel. We are looking or starting to look for structures to end on a daily time frame. The weekly time frame has a high probability of continuation to the upside. We are now reaching target areas for corrective structures, ABCs, WXYs. From a swing mindset, it's a really bad place for swing shorts. This is the swing short area, no? So Personally, I am very patient with looking for bigger swinging short positions, swinging meaning probably holding it for a day or two or whatever, because we literally are at the lows now. We are below the range. We are hitting close to hitting support areas. Of course, if there is weakness on the chart, of course I short. I'm a day trader. I don't mind it. But from a swing trader's perspective, at the moment, the interest is very much towards TP areas, potentially looking for longs if there's local strength, right? So preferably we move back inside the range. So yeah, probabilities on the daily are higher still to take out this low. And on the 15-minute time frame, the probabilities this morning played out. We moved towards the upside, so that one is sorted. Probabilities locally. Yeah, I can only say really what I'm looking for. As long as price is not going to hit the 618 at 56.1k, the probabilities would be higher to take out the high and then take out this high. If you do hit the 618, the probabilities increase to continue ranging, and then you range sideways, because the probabilities are higher that this is a three-wave structure down. So then you have a three-wave down, then you have a three-wave up. So in other words, it will increase probabilities to continue moving sideways, and then we can reanalyze. So that's just trade the range until it breaks type of structure. But as long as we don't hit the 618, there's the potential here for wave 4 price action, move up in 5, take the highs. Yeah, monthly naked point of control is also there. Yeah, that's great. There's great support there. So now we do have a bit of bearish and also bullish CVD, so that's cancelled. So CVD is very neutral, not really showing anything. So yeah, that's that, from an Elliott wave point of view. Weekly bullish, daily at the moment, so higher for one more low at some point. And locally here, arguably, the probabilities would be higher to still take out the high, but if you do hit the 618 here, the probabilities increase for a three-wave down, a three-wave up, and that is the moment where we have to start considering a continuation of this range sideways. We're now at resistance as well. So of course my long was taken here, so I'm happy. And if you can pass the support resistance area here on daily naked point of control at 60.9k, which is nice. So yeah, probabilities would be higher to move up unless you hit the 618. So that is where probabilities change. And now we're just grinding resistance, so we got to observe if we can pass it, and passing resistance is of course a long opportunity, or if price is going to grind this resistance and we see weakness, and then we just look for downside. So have we retraced on the 15? Will it hit the 618? That's the question. No? We don't know. We did have a bit of bearish CVDs here, lower high on price, higher high on the CVD. Hasn't yet played out because that would be the low. Now we also have a bit of bullish CVD. So it's a mix. And now on the 3-minute, literally looking maybe again some 3-minute bearish CVD. So it doesn't look very strong just yet. Now for the ones that saw my chart, I had this support, which is a 5-minute order block. So I had this one on the chart, which is pretty much the only level I have. So yeah, we definitely want to take these highs and preferably this one to invalidate bearish CVDs. So at the moment, we had a structure to the downside. We had some volume increasing. Since then, we have been moving sideways. So yeah, probabilities just remain the same. Weekly, bullish, daily, one more low, 50-minute bullish, unless you hit the 618. That's when probabilities start to switch. And if you do change the market structure in the 15 and move below the red candle 55.6, then you're just looking at the three-wave structure again. But yeah, that's it pretty much. Yeah, it is late because I have to go. I literally have to leave the house. So we did the chatting at the beginning. Rise depends on your plan and your strategy. So the best long, in my opinion, was here. I never long, besides I was asleep, but I never take the highs or the lows. But this is where I saw signs of strength and where I got interested. Yeah, and other than that, now every resistance area is simply TP for me, and not a new entry. But that's my plan, so I'm happy. I took my TP1 at resistance here. So 50% is off and the rest is running in profit. So yeah, have a plan, have a strategy. And I do share Elliott wave setups, by the way, or the reason why a setup is interesting. First link in the description, right? First link in the description. So you can check that one out. Kiwi, anytime, don't worry. You can just do it whenever you like to. Welcome to the team as well. I'll also get you in the setups channel, by the way, if you send me an email with your stuff after the 100. Okay, everyone, I have to go. I have a meeting with my business coach. So yeah, it's with this range here, I'm a little bit neutral, not gonna lie. Feeling wise, because of the bearish CVDs we have here when hitting the resistance, not really getting a lot of confidence just yet. Again, bearish CVD here, lower high, higher high. So yeah, if we can pass this resistance, it would be good to take out the high, and then there is potential to move up a little bit further. But observe the range. The range will give us all the information that we need. No, 618. Increased probabilities for a three-waver. So weekly, bullish, daily, one more low, 50-minute, arguably simply said it's bullish till you hit 618. Right, so yeah, I mean, that's as easy as it gets, I suppose. Okay, everyone, time for me to fly. I'll make sure to, of course, give an update tonight. And I have to travel, so I will be active in Discord when there are any questions or whatever. I'll make sure to answer these questions. So thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, I'm going to see you at the next live stream. And tonight is, of course, another update. So thanks for being here. Cheers for all the comments, everyone. I see them still coming in. And I'll catch you soon.